After King the Land, Junho finally confesses his true feelings for Yoona. The cameras have stopped rolling. The lights on set have faded. But for Junho and imyoonah, the story that began on screen was far from over. Because what started as a drama, a perfect illusion of love written into a script, slowly became something deeper, something real. And now, after months of silence, speculation, and rumors, Junho has finally confessed the truth, and the world is in absolute shock. Hold on tight, K-drama family, because this journey is only just beginning. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The revelations, the emotions, the moments that will change everything. The beginning, when fiction felt too real. When King the Land first premiered, it was supposed to be just another romantic comedy. A charming heir, a bright hotelier, and a love story that made viewers smile week after week. But there was something different about this one. Every glance between Junho and Yoona, every accidental touch, every lingering pause felt too natural. It wasn't just chemistry, it was connection. Behind the scenes, staff members often joked, they don't need to act. They just have to look at each other. And they were right. From laughter during rehearsals to quiet moments between takes, the line between real and real began to blur. Even fans could feel it. Clips of them off camera went viral. Junho brushing hair from Yoona's face, Yoona blushing when he whispered something only she could hear. The internet called it Junho magic. But beneath the laughter and fan theories, something was quietly unfolding, something that neither of them was ready to admit. The distance and the denial. When filming ended, both stars moved on to new projects. They smiled for cameras, appeared at events, and praised each other in interviews. But whenever Yoona's name was mentioned, Junho's expression softened, that same unguarded warmth returning to his eyes. And when asked about him, Yoona's tone would shift, her words careful but affectionate. In one interview, when a host teasingly asked if Junho was her ideal type, Yoona laughed, hesitated, and replied, "He's someone I admire deeply." It wasn't a yes, but it wasn't a no either. And so the rumors grew. Every red carpet glance, every shared smile, fans saw what the two stars tried to hide. The night of the confession. It happened quietly, not on stage, not in a studio, but at a private after-party celebrating Junho's award for Best Actor. As the night drew on, surrounded by friends, laughter, and music, he raised his glass for a simple toast. But instead of talking about his work, he paused and said words that silenced the entire room. Some stories don't end when filming wraps. Some stay with you because they started in the heart, not the script. He looked across the room, at Yoona, sitting near the corner, her eyes wide, tears threatening to fall. And then he said it. She changed me. She made me believe in love that doesn't need to be perfect, only real. And I don't want to keep pretending I don't feel that anymore. The room erupted. Some gasped. Others froze. But one thing was certain. The moment had been years in the making. Yoona, emotional and caught off guard, stood and walked toward him. And for the first time since King the Land, the two stood face to face. No cameras, no scripts, just truth. She smiled through tears and whispered, "You always find the perfect time to ruin my composure." He laughed, replying softly, "Maybe that's what love does." The world reacts. Within hours, the news exploded across social media. Clips from the event, eyewitness accounts, and fan edits flooded the internet. Junho confesses to Yoona trended worldwide. Fans from Seoul to Los Angeles celebrated online, calling it the confession we've all waited for. Fan messages poured in. Their chemistry wasn't acting, it was destiny. They were the king and queen all along. Both agencies released cautious statements, saying, "The two have always shared deep respect and admiration for each other. We ask for understanding during this personal time." But insiders knew this wasn't just admiration. This was love long held, finally spoken, behind closed doors. According to a close source, after the party ended, Junho and Yoona took a walk through the quiet streets of Seoul. No paparazzi. No fans. Just them, two people who had finally stopped pretending. A witness shared. They walked slowly, talking softly, holding hands like they'd done it 1,000 times before. And for once, there was no need for scripts or stage lights. They were simply themselves, free, honest, and real. The future. Today, neither has officially confirmed the relationship, but they haven't denied it either. Fans have spotted subtle signs, matching accessories, quiet dinner sightings, and that same glowing warmth whenever their names are mentioned. Industry insiders say the two have been inseparable since that night, balancing work and privacy while carefully protecting something precious. And though they remain silent publicly, those close to them believe this is not a short-lived spark, but something far more enduring. The secret arrival. Yoona had arrived first, her team under the guise of a private photo shoot for a global brand. No fanfare, no press, just a short flight and a quiet car ride to a secluded hotel in Shibuya. Hours later, Junho landed. His agency claimed he was in Japan for scheduled meetings, but fans were quick to notice. No cameras followed him this time. And then late that evening, the two were seen, not by paparazzi, but by someone who worked at the hotel. A witness described it softly. He was already waiting on the rooftop. When she arrived, she looked nervous. But the moment he smiled, she relaxed. It felt like a scene from a movie. For a moment, they just stood there, the wind carrying the soft hum of the city below. No scripts. No roles.
Just Junho and Yoona.
The conversation that changed everything. Under the dim glow of the rooftop lights, Junho spoke first. I meant every word I said, he told her quietly. I didn't plan to confess that night, but I couldn't keep it inside anymore. Yoona didn't answer right away. She looked out at the Tokyo skyline, her reflection mirrored in the glass, her eyes full of conflict. You know what your words did, right? She said softly. The world is watching us again. He smiled, his tone calm, certain. Then let them watch. For once, I don't care. What I care about is you. For a long time, she was silent. Then she whispered, her voice breaking just enough to betray everything she'd been holding in. You always say the right things at the wrong time. He laughed quietly. Maybe this time, the timing is finally right. And then, for the first time since King the Land, the distance between them disappeared. The moment the world didn't see. According to an insider close to Yoona, the two stayed on that rooftop for nearly 2 hours, talking, reminiscing, and finally, letting go of years of unspoken tension. There were no arguments, no drama, just emotion, the insider said. At one point, Yoona started to cry. Junho took off his jacket, wrapped it around her shoulders, and told her she didn't have to say anything that he already knew. Later that night, they reportedly shared dinner privately. No phones, no cameras, just a quiet meal between two people who had finally stopped hiding. By morning, they left the hotel separately. But the spark, the connection, was undeniable. They had crossed the line from acting partners to something far more real. The signs of something more. Days later, eagle-eyed fans noticed subtle clues. Both stars wearing identical silver bracelets in separate social media posts. A coincidence? Perhaps. But for their fans, it was confirmation. Another fan spotted Junho's manager picking up Yoona's assistant from Haneda Airport, the same day Junho returned to Seoul. The internet exploded with speculation. They were together in Tokyo. They're dating in secret. This is their real-life drama. But neither star said a word. No denial. No confirmation. Just silence again. And that silence spoke volumes. The legacy of their connection. Their story, from King the Land to real-life confessions, from Seoul to Tokyo, has become one of the most captivating chapters in K-drama history. Not because of the fame, not because of the spectacle, but because it reminds us of something deeply human. That even in the glittering, guarded world of celebrities, love still happens, quietly, honestly, beautifully. Some stories don't need an ending, Junho once said. They just need the courage to begin. And somewhere in the glow of Tokyo's skyline that night, there's finally did